May is infatuated with a guy she meets at the grocery store. During checkout, he pays for her sponge cake due to a mix-up and leaves. May chases him in the parking lot, hoping to talk to him, but he already left. So she posts a message on the Missed Connections app, hoping to find him. She then spots the grocery guy also looking for a girl wearing a white shirt, a tote bag, and carrying a grocery bag. May believes that he's looking for her, so she texts him. May works as a t-shirt designer, but her business is failing with no sales. She then gets a reply from the grocery guy. His name is Norman, and he works as a web designer. The next day, she meets with him, but learns that the post he made was not about her. Feeling embarrassed, she pays him for the cake and prepares to leave. As she seems sad, he decides to invite her for lunch. He checks her website and comments that her shirt designs are good, but her site needs to look better. May decides to hire him to work on her website. They then head to her place, which is full of clutter. He starts working on her site while she prepares something for him to eat. Norman is unable to work in that mess, so he decides to help her clean up. She confesses that she doesn't like throwing her parents' things away so as not to feel lonely, and that designing shirts has always been her way to express her thoughts. Norman returns the next day to continue working on her website. He's unaware that she's taking pictures of him while he's holding her products. Norman completes the creation of her website and admits that he really enjoyed working with her. May holds his hand and asks what's next for them. He rejects her and offers to be her friend. He actually wants to explore his missed connection. The real grocery girl he's been looking for replied to his post. May thanks him for the success of one-word shirts, as a lot of orders came in from the website. He then calls her and lets her know that he is meeting with grocery girl that night at the local bar. Norman and Julia meet and their chemistry is undeniable. May watches them and cries. She checks Julia's Instagram account and learns that she's an influencer who owns a hair salon. Her imaginary ex, Mark, mocks her and reminds her that Julia has perfect hair, body, and life. May decides to have a haircut at Julia's salon. She chats with her and learns that guys don't take her seriously and only want to have fun with her. May confides in Julia that she loves a guy but he likes someone else. Julia advises her to fight for him and promises to make her so pretty so she can win his heart and get rid of the other girl. May meets Norman at the mall. He notices that she dressed up. He introduces her to his office mates and together they play card games and discuss friendships and relationships. Later, Norman confesses that everything is effortless when he's with Julia. He then invites May to an event that his girlfriend is planning. May is unable to focus on her work as she keeps thinking about Norman and Julia, as well as her relationship with her ex. She has a mental breakdown and starts breaking things. She attends Julia's event and is pissed when she sees them posing for photos and being flirtatious. Julia realizes that May is interested in Norman but feigns ignorance. May comments that he feels out of place when he is with her, but Julia retorts that Norman needs a partner who keeps challenging him. She also believes that he is the one for her, as she wants to be a better person because of him. Later, both May and Norman leave the venue to get some air. They both think it's too crowded inside and can't compete with their energy. Norman hugs her as he is glad she is there to help him catch his breath. May then watches them as they dance and kiss. A drunk May stalks Julia's Instagram. An imaginary Mark starts taunting her again, saying that she loved him in a way he can never escape from her. May researches Julia Diaz online and discovers that she cheated on her ex and was promiscuous. She creates a fake account to expose her. As she falls asleep on the laptop, she accidentally hits the share button. The next day, her page gets lots of followers and likes. People start bashing Julia and canceling her. She watches Julia's breakdown on Instagram Live. Julia apologizes to her fans and explains that she was only attending a friend's birthday that day. She then deactivates all of her accounts and deletes her YouTube videos. May isn't remorseful and claims that she did it to protect Norman. Her aunt reminds her of the time Jenny messed with her and Mark, and points out that she is acting like her now. They argue and May walks away. She then meets with a depressed Norman as he is drowning his sorrow in alcohol. He and Julia broke up. May tries to console him and offers to be his +1 at his sister's rehearsal dinner. She then looks for the right outfit to make the right impression, as Norman is gonna introduce her to his family. She meets his family, who think that she is his girlfriend, but he insists that she is just a friend. She later confesses that she wants them to be more than friends. Just then, Julia shows up and calls May the B word, then storms out. Norman runs after her, but Julia insists that May is the one who created the real Julia online page. May ends up confessing her feelings to him and admitting everything she did. Norman hugs Julia, trying to comfort her, but she walks away. He then berates May, saying that he doesn't love her. He begs her to delete all the things she posted and stresses that he doesn't want to see her again. Heartbroken, she goes back home and deletes the page. The next day, she looks at pictures of hers and her ex Mark. She wonders why no matter what she does, she is still not enough. Imaginary Mark explains to her that she still sees him because she couldn't let him go. He reminds her that she gave up on him first and is still holding on to his things. He encourages her to explore the wide and beautiful world out there, and that she shouldn't be afraid to be alone and start loving herself. May finally decides to clean up. She finally lets go of Mark as she puts him in the trash and burns him and his picture figuratively. She declutters her house and makes it look nice. She pays her aunt a visit and apologizes to her. She admits that she was a villain, but she just followed her heart. Her aunt reminds her that she still has herself even when everyone is gone. May bumps into Mark grabbing some groceries. He congratulates her on her t-shirt business, and she is glad that he and Ginny are still together. He apologizes for cheating on her, but she already forgave him. May's business is thriving as she hired new staff to help her with the deliveries. On Instagram, she sees as Norman and Julia are still together and going strong. She decides to unfollow him as she moved on. At the grocery store, she bumps into an attractive guy and they start playing Patentiro. She posts on the Missed Connections app that she is looking for Patentiro cutie who got away from her. But then she decides to delete the app as she is content with being single.